Hello everyone, the main purpose of this video is to detailedly introduce the Blasource set. Blasource is located right on the border between the Lion Kingdom and the Raven Duchy. The environment is harsh and barren, and the entire fortress sits on top of sheer cliffs. It's heavily fortified and absolutely lives up to its name, the Raven's Shield. This build is inspired by LEGO set 6074, so from the very beginning I already had a clear vision. Symmetrical round towers, a grand entrance, that iconic drawbridge, and a small structure sitting at the very top. You can definitely see the DNA of 6074 throughout the whole model. To make things more interesting, I added water and terrain, along with a secondary water gate and a more defensive inner keep. All of this really helps make the build feel more complete and dynamic. And honestly, since I decided early on to follow the 6074 structure, I was kind of glad I didn't have to deal with corner builds this time. Finally got to take it a little easier there. But because of that, I put a lot more effort into the pathways, the environment, and especially the playability to really make this stand out. The model opens up from the middle, and the interior is fully detailed. Every single area is accessible by minifigures. Bro, you already know, bro, I only design fully walkable builds. Now take a look at the front. I'm pretty sure you're going to love this rocky base. I actually spent an entire day just working on this section, trying to make the rocks blend naturally into the castle. And the vegetation on the cliffs? That took a lot of effort too. Up here on the front tower, there's a hinge mechanism that lets you raise and lower the drawbridge. And these statues by the gate, I love these. They're a callback to my earlier build, the Raven Duke's Parliament Hall. If you recognize them, you'll know they were originally designed by my favorite mock designer, Bricks Fan Yui, and I made some modifications. At the top, there's a working mechanism to lift the portcullis, and combined with that arched gateway, it just creates such a strong atmosphere. Now let's spin it around to the back. Check this out. You've got a massive water gate, symmetrical towers, and a really powerful silhouette. Honestly, sometimes I feel like the back looks even better than the front. That's kind of my design style. I want every angle to look good. Of course, that also means a lot more work on my end, which is why my instructions tend to cost a bit more. Hope you can understand it. Do you remember this little sailboat? It actually appeared in my BDP-11 project, Waterfort. This is a communication boat from Blasource, and the scale fits perfectly with this harbor. The story I showed before was about sending a letter from Blasource to the Lord of Waterfort. Next up is this little soul raft, which you might recognize from my Gavis Stronghold set. It transports fish and vegetables from Gavis Stronghold to Blasource in exchange for gold. The size is perfect for navigating these underground caves. Alright, let's head inside the castle. Coming through the main gate, on the right you've got an armory, and further in there's a soldier's quarters and a kitchen. If you open up the wall, you can see all the details, supplies, and even the key to the water prison below. There's also a ladder leading up to the second level. On the left side is a stairwell with stored goods, the same fish and vegetables from Gavis Stronghold. Heading upstairs brings you to the second level, and inside there's a hall where the Lord meets his subordinates. With the modular table and chairs, it can also turn into a banquet hall for guests. If you go down from the stairwell, you'll reach the underground water harbor, the entry point for the raft. There's also a hidden cave here. Open up the stone door and you'll find a secret chamber holding all of Blasource's wealth. When the model's closed, it's completely hidden. And of course, only the Lord has the key. Behind that is a water prison. Open the cell and you'll see the back of a lion knight. Rotate the rock and there he is, a determined old knight. This is actually a tribute to Lion Knight's castle and mountain fortress. And yes, there's definitely going to be a rescue story coming later, so stay tuned for that. Back upstairs, we reach the second platform. From here, you can head up the tower or turn around to see the inner keep. The inner gate uses a sliding mechanism and can be opened from the inside. You can also remove sections of the wall and tower to reveal more details, stored supplies, guard areas, and soldiers watching over the water. There's even a small training range here, and right below it is the soldiers' resting area we saw earlier. Now at the very top level, you've got the Lord's throne. Across from it are weapons prepared for the fence. Under the stairs, there's a door leading to the Lord's bedroom. Inside, you can spot the letter to Waterforts along with a fully detailed setup: bed, helmet, sword, the golden key to the treasure chamber, and the raven emblem on the wall. Back outside, a ladder next to the throne takes you even higher. The modular tower can be removed, and the small house provides space for soldiers to rest. Along the wall, you'll find the control platform for the portcullis. And finally, at the very top of the tower, you get an incredible view. This is the highest point of Blasource. And that's the entire build. Now let's quickly take a look at the minifigures. There are 12 in total, including leaders, fighters, and regular soldiers. My personal favorites are these three: the third in command, a handsome boy, and the one-eye fighter. I just love these combinations. Fun fact, the hairstyle on the third in command is actually pretty rare. I had to ask a friend to help me get a Prince Philip minifigure from Hong Kong just for that piece. This is my first castle build with over 4,000 pieces, and honestly, it was a huge challenge. Just collecting all the Raven Knights alone was tough, and because of the size, I even had to buy a new computer just to make the instructions. But in the end, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Most of the problems I ran into were solved, and while it's not perfect, I think it strikes a great balance between looks, stability, and playability. I really hope you guys like it and enjoy building it. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, thank you for your support.